Today on The Art of Lifing, we're going to explore the power of just being. What does that mean to be? Let's talk about that. As a child, I remember lying in the grass in my backyard, looking up at the sky and looking at all the clouds I would see up at the sky and giving them shapes. So this one looks like an elephant, or this one looks like a bird, or maybe that looks like a dragon. And I remember spending so much time just being, just playing, just being. I had nowhere to go. I had nothing to do. My brother and I would be playing in the backyard and hanging out while my mom would be doing something in the house, or my dad would be working or listening to music, and we would just be. And I think sometimes that in this day and age, as we're raising our kids, we sort of lost that art of being, not only for our kids, but also for ourselves as well. And I think that there's a real benefit in not only just being for yourself, but when you're doing that with the people that you love and you're just around them. And the reason I'm bringing this topic up is that this past week, I was out with my kids, and both my kids take karate. My older son is a black belt. My little one is on his way to doing that. My older one plays baseball competitively. My little one runs competitively. So we're in that life stage as parents, a family, where we're constantly like on the go. You know how people say the soccer mom? I guess I'm like the baseball or the karate mom or the running mom. But I'm in the car a lot. We're going from session to session. We're constantly going. And quite a lot of the time, I find that just taking a moment and just sitting and doing nothing has become a much more rare moment. But I realized something this last week, and that was that despite our busy schedules, there are times and places where we can make that effort to just be for the sake of it. We just have to do it for intention. So I'll give you an example. My older son is doing baseball training, and so he's got a lot of indoor training over the winter before they go out into the field. And so my little one often ends up having to sit with me and either watch them throwing the ball back and forth for hours. He might have a book, but he's not reading it for 3 hours. He's in grade 3. The attention span doesn't go that far. And the other day I said to my little one, let's go for a drive and find a park nearby while we're waiting for your brother, and let's just go do something. So he heard the word park and he pictured swings and a slide, and he was like, oh, that sounds fun, Mom. And I found a place near our area called the Scarborough Bluffs. There was a park up above, but it's a park meaning lots of grass. So we come to the park, and my little one's kind of immediately disappointed because there's no swings or slides there. And I said, let's just have some fun here. We're just going to take in some nature. And he was like, oh. So immediately he's asking for screen time. He's asking how long we're going to be there. He's trying to figure out, okay, how long do I have to put up with this with my mom before we get back? And we went around and we walked for a little while, and there was a little park bench we sat, and I said to him, let's just close our eyes and think about all the sounds that we can hear. So he closes his eyes for 2 minutes, and I said, what do you hear? Well, I hear birds. Okay. Then I immediately see him open his eyes. I'm like, no, close your eyes again. Just really close it and think. And as we started to sort of settle down into the mood of just him and I being there, what I realized is that his anxiousness and all of the things that he felt like he needed to do dissipated. And then suddenly we were playing and giggling and just spending some time together where we weren't doing anything. We didn't have to be anywhere. We didn't have to do anything at all. And it was honestly the most special time, some bonding time that him and I had together. But it also was de-stressing for me, because in that moment, I wasn't worried about the emails that I had to finish or the dinner I had to make after we finished all of our classes. I wasn't worried about any of those things. I stayed with him 100%. And what I realized is, if I don't purposefully carve out those moments, those times, I'm always going to tell myself I don't have that time. And most of the time I'd be sitting in the gym with my little one on the side, sort of, he's playing, he wants to play on the screen, he might read a book and then he's bored, and I'm trying to catch up on emails, or I might be scrolling through social media. But that's an opportunity that I realized was so valuable with my son and I, my little one, that we could have that bonding moment. And so the big realization I had from that is how many other times throughout the week can we do that? Because the one thing I see, and I think it's good in a way, but also detrimental for our kids, is that when it comes to sports or arts or all these events, so many kids are enrolled in these things when they're really, really little. And then as you develop an interest in something, the requirements in a sports environment, for example, or an arts environment becomes pretty severe. So, you know, my older one who plays baseball competitively, there were times where he was going to baseball training 3 days a week, and then he had tournaments and games outside of that. It didn't leave him a lot of time to do any of the other things that he might have or wanted to pursue. And I feel like sometimes we have to scale back and balance that, yeah, you know what, at 10 or 11 years old, he's not an MLB player, and he should have a wide, diverse range of experiences until he hits 12 or 13, where many athletes and academics say that's when you should start zooming in on particular interests. So I feel like we can't change those systems, and if our kids are into something and they really love it, of course we're going to put all our time and effort into it. But even within those busy schedules, if we can find time to just be with each other, then we're not only giving back to ourselves, we're giving back to our kids, and we're bonding in an opportunity that we might not have otherwise thought that we had. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, then please like it and share it with anybody that you think might be interested in this content as well. I would also love it if you could subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Tuesday. And last but not least, if you have any comments, I would love to have a conversation with you. Let's do this journey together. Let's master the art of lifing and really do life on purpose.